It could only happen in Oldham. It could only happen here. The chief executive, the backdoor appointed chief executive, remember through a dodgy recruitment process where he was first of all temporary and then silently, secretly, his contract was extended. His name is Harry Catherall. Many of you will have seen him in his, anyway. Whatever he is, Oldham Council's chief executive cannot count to 3. £200,000 salary, and he cannot count to 3.
Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them. On the 20th of November 2003, James Ignatius O'Rourke McMahon was elected councillor for the Failsworth East Ward of Oldham. Deeply ambitious, he ruthlessly rose to power, and by 2011 he was already leader of the council. In 2015, exploiting a Labour Party loophole, he became MP for Oldham West and Royton. If only the people of the town knew then what they now know. Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them.
A very, very good evening. Tuesday the 25th of April 2023, 9 days to election day, and the election is on the brink of collapse. The parish election in Shaw now is on the brink of collapse as a consequence of Harry Catherall, the returning officer who's responsible for elections. In fact, he gets paid an extra £10,000 or something. So he's responsible for the elections and overseeing the elections. Now, the problem is, as the Shaw and Crompton independents have demonstrated, is that they have put up 4 candidates in an area where there are only 3 that can be elected, and they've done so because of the advice issued to them by Harry Catherall's council. Now, immediately and without any hesitation, I am calling for the suspension of the elections officer, a woman called Jenna. Gemma is out. If you cannot count to 3, if you can't get your facts and figures right on an election and how many seats there are in an area, you should not be in that position. And that position, by the way, commands at least a £50,000 salary, a circa £50,000 salary. And irrespective of her mistake, Harry Catherall, the chief executive, is responsible, and he should have checked it himself. The parish council in Shaw is now no longer fit for purpose because the Shaw and Crompton independents are immediately at a disadvantage because they've put up 4 candidates in an area where only 3 can be selected, and they've been promoting, campaigning on the basis that they can have 4 elected. So if you lived in this area and went to the ballot box expecting to vote for 4 people and you saw the instructions vote for only 3, what would you do? 1, you'd either vote for 4 and say they've got it wrong, or 2, you'd be splitting your own vote in your own party. Catherall is incompetent, we've known that, but this woman, Jenna Madley, I met her earlier on this week. Shifty is all I've got to say, and completely out of her depth. And candidates from other parties have said the same to me about her and the entire elections office. They've been importing in staff from all over the place, and you know why? No one in Oldham wants to do this job. And does anyone blame people for not wanting to do a job in a council that is corrupt, that's been accused time and time again of rigging elections? Well, here, if they're not rigging elections, what is this? If this is not an attempt to rig an election, what is it? On what basis did Jenna Madley approve this? Let's bring up the independent statement, and let's go through the sequence of emails. And by the way, Harry Catherall is on the run. He is hiding. He has refused so far to respond to the communications from Mark Hinz and his team. Why is that? Why is the returning officer refusing to respond? This is the Shaw and Crompton independent statement, and I think it deserves reading. And it's regarding the parish council elections in what is known as the East Ward. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but if I was a conspiracy theorist, I'd be asking why. Why in the East Ward? If you didn't know, in the East Ward is where Howard Sykes is standing. Why has this mistake been made in the ward where Howard Sykes is standing? We have received a written apology from the head of elections and land charges at OMBC, Jenna Madley. She claimed she'd been working there for 10 years when I was there. She hasn't been working there for 10 years, and if she was, she'd been making the tea for 8 of them. Who acknowledges giving incorrect and false information regarding the number of seats for election in the East Ward in the upcoming parish council election. This has resulted in the Shaw and Crompton Independents putting 4 candidates forward instead of the prescribed 3. Although we do not hold Jenna personally to account, well, I do. I think it's her job. She is accountable. And she should resign with immediate effect, or she should be suspended with immediate effect. Because if she's doing this here, what else is she doing? I hear the election boxes aren't going to be open properly until the Friday because they're doing the count on Friday. What will these council officers be doing with the ballot papers overnight? Can you trust them? I don't trust them. How do you know secret boxes won't be brought in? Can you trust these people? I can't trust these people. 2 years ago, the returning officer admitted her officers had unlawfully interfered in an election. And now what we've got is the head of elections providing false information through which the independents have put up 4 candidates in a ward where there are only 3 seats available. And they were told there are 4 seats available. This woman should resign. She should be sacked. She should be marched out. Although we do not hold Jenna personally to account, we believe this highlights the basic incompetence at functional level. It does, Mark. It demonstrates the basic incompetence at functional level, which we believe is due to the lack of skill set and experience within the council. Yes, Mark, they can't count to 3. We do, however, expect... Moab can wait. We do, however, expect an explanation from the presiding officer, Mr. Harry Catherall. Where's his explanation? As a community group, we stand by and support all 4 of our candidates who are prepared to work to their community without any personal or political motivations, who are prepared to work for their community. I'm sorry, Mark. They should never have been put in this place. It is outrageous when we struggle to find decent people to step forward that the council then does this to them. Where is the apology from Harry Catherall? Where is it? Where is the sacking of this woman, Jenna Madley? How can anyone trust what will happen to those ballot boxes overnight at the Civic Centre? How can anyone now trust them? When trust was an all-time low, they go and do this. All we ask for, I think, is voters carefully check and read the ballot paper below and choose 3 candidates only. This is what she had to say. Look how blasé she is. Look how blasé Jenna Madley is. Hello, comma. Hello, you need to say dear Mr. Hints. Or dear sir, not hello. Hello? Who on earth do you think you are? Sending emails that say hello. Hello. Further to my previous email, please note the mistake. The mistake! There are 5 wards in the parish area, not 4 as previously stated. Sorry for the error. So first of all, she's making a mistake as to how many wards there are. First of all, she's claiming there were 4 wards and that she's had to be corrected that there are 5 wards. So that's her first mistake. I'll get to that. Hi, Callum. Callum, I've met the young man. I think he's been brought in from Wigan or Lee or something. As a matter of urgency, please can you advise how in the East Ward there are 4 seats available, yet on the postal votes it states you can only vote for 3 candidates. So you can see she's clearly said herself 4. She's got it wrong first of all as to how many wards there are. There's 5 wards, not 4, as she previously stated. And now she's saying how many seats are available is 4 in the East. And yet this arrives in the post. And it says, vote for no more than 3 candidates. And surprise, surprise, the Lib Dems have put up 3 candidates. Why have the Lib Dems been given information where they've put up 3 candidates? And the Independents, the Shaw Crompton Independents, been given information where they've put up 4 candidates. And look, there's no ambiguity. It's not like 4 different independents. The Shaw and Crompton Independents is what it says underneath all of their names. Janice, Sarah, Lisa Ann and Anthony. This is gross misconduct. You're completely right, Sally. I don't see this as an error, as a mistake. Hello? Hello? First of all, you've claimed there are different wards, not enough wards. What was it? First of all, you claimed hello? First of all, you tried to say there were 4 wards rather than 5. So they would have potentially not been represented in the 5th ward. And now you're claiming and when you communicated that, you said, and you need to put, there's 4 seats here. And then the ballot paper arrives and there's only 3 seats. And Mark sends it to one of the elections team. He's called Callum. He's brought in from Wigan or Lee. As a matter of urgency, please can you advise how in the East Ward there are 4 seats available, yet on the postal votes it states you can only vote for 3 candidates. This is not the case with the North Ward, where the voter can choose 4 candidates to vote for, which is what you can do in the North Ward. Nothing. Dear Mr. Catherall, I am writing to you in your capacity of returning officer regarding a serious error made by Jenna Madley, head of elections and land charges, in which she has given out false and inaccurate information regarding the upcoming parish council election in Shaw and Crompton, which could have a detrimental effect on the upcoming elections. I'm sorry, Mark, it will have a detrimental effect. I'm sorry to break this to you, Mark. It will have a detrimental effect on your party. Ms Madley has advised the Shaw Crompton Parish Council that there are 4 seats to be contested in the East Ward, when in fact there is 3. The Parish Council has then issued this information to us, and we have put forward 4 independent candidates in accordance with this information. I am sure you are aware of the ramifications of this, and ask you to look at this as a matter of urgency. As this is of such importance to us and our local community, we are prepared to explore all legal avenues to ensure this serious error does not prevent a fair and transparent election. I look forward to your speedy response. And there hasn't been one. And Jenna Madley is nowhere to be seen. Here it is. Hi, Mark. Here is her response. Apologies. There was an error in the original email I sent. She's trying to wriggle out of it. She now says the order states the seats here with a link to some random page somewhere. That doesn't work. You issued the statement. It's there in black and white. To confirm, the number of seats for the Shaw Crompton Parish Council are as follows. 3 for East. Sorry for the confusion. Sorry for the confusion. I'm not confused as to what I think has taken place here. Is anyone else confused? Is anyone confused as to what Jenna Madley's actions are and what they've resulted in? They've resulted in the rigging of an election. It's placed the Shaw and Crompton independents at a disadvantage, because when people go and vote, they will either vote for all 4 and therefore spoiling ballot papers, or they will choose 3 out of 4 and thereby disadvantaging all 4 of the candidates. Because some of them will vote for 3 and miss 1 and miss 1 and miss 1. So all 4 of the candidates will get fewer votes than they otherwise would have. This is outrageous. And the monitoring officer, Harry Catherall, on his £200,000 a year salary, does not even have the decency to respond. Does not even have the decency to respond. To all the independent candidates across the town, across the borough, all 20 wards, my position is clear. Those ballot boxes need to be sealed under police guard, not Greater Manchester Police, by the way. Those ballot boxes need to be sealed, and when they're emptied, there needs to be independent witnesses there, including your own, to see them emptied, because I do not trust them. They can't even count to 3 and they're already caught. Whether it's an accident or not, the consequence is these actions will result in the rigging of an election. I think AEA means some sort of qualification she's got. This is a town low on trust. And this just happened. And speaking of low on trust, no, even though a threat to my life has been made, and consequence more threats have been made, including one where I will be kidnapped off the street, taken to a secluded place where I'll have to beg for my life, Greater Manchester Police are yet to contact me. Remember, they sent 5 police officers only a few weeks ago to arrest me in the morning of a spurious allegation. Yet when in black and white, where people with their names and their phone numbers are communicating, that they will cause me damage, kidnap me off the street and take me to a secluded place where I will beg for mercy. Greater Manchester Police have refused so far to contact me. Well, you know what? You can try and kidnap me off the street if you want. You jihadist nutters aren't going to win this. I will be in Royton South tomorrow delivering leaflets against Amanda Chadderton and her Labour Party politicians and their jihadi supporters. If you want to, please contact me. We will need all the help we can. There's something like 4,000 to 5,000 houses to deliver these leaflets to. I would very much welcome help. I'm thinking of meeting around 10 a.m. in Royton. I've got all the printouts of all the streets. There's 13 zones in total. Each zone will take about an hour. So if there's teams of us, if there's 13 of us, we'll get 12 of us. We'll get it done in 2 hours, 3 hours. Please do not let these people scare you. This is our town. These are our communities. I will be there in Royton South tomorrow, and the jihadists can rock up in their cars and try and kidnap me. But I will be out there delivering leaflets. And I'm asking for your help to come and deliver these leaflets with me. This is outrageous. What is taking place in this outrageous? The police are complicit. The politicians are complicit. The media is complicit through its silence. And now this. The actual council officers are now involved in this. £10 somewhere around the Royton Town Hall. Please, not, somewhere around the market, Royton Town Hall tomorrow. Hope to see as many of you there as possible. I don't hide behind the keyboard and a false profile like some of those nutters. And you're not going to intimidate me and silence me. What is going on in Oldham is wrong on every level. And the only way to fix this is to take them out at the ballot box regardless of their threats. And regardless of this level of corruption. Or incompetence. You decide. You decide whether it's corruption or incompetence. Either way, it has a detrimental effect on the Shaw Crompton independence. And this evening, I feel for them. I really feel for their candidates. They bravely stepped forward, and for this to happen to them. And Harry Catherall is nowhere to be seen. And Jenna sends messages like hello and hi and sorry for the confusion. It wasn't confusion, Jenna. You should not be in the job you're in. Your ineptitude is clearly a demonstration here. My name is Raja Miah. These are Recusant 9 transmissions. There'll be another one tomorrow and another one tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And they will not stop us. They can issue all the threats they want. They will not stop us. We are taking our town back.
Do not fear them. Do not fear any of them.